In ADDS, you must configure all users who require access to network resources with a user account. With this user account, users can authenticate to the ADDS domain and access network resources. In Windows Server, a user account is an object that contains all the information that defines a user. A user account includes the username, user password, and group memberships. A user account also contains many other settings that you can configure based on your organizational requirements. With a user account, you can allow or deny users permission to sign into a computer based on their user account identity. Grant users access to processes and services for a specific security context. Manage users' access to resources such as ADDS objects and their properties, shared folders, files, directories, and printer queues. A user account enables a user to sign into computers and domains with an identity that the domain can authenticate. When you create a user account, you must provide a user logon name, which must be unique in the domain and forest in which you create the user account. To maximize security, you should avoid multiple users sharing a single account and instead ensure that each user who signs into the network has a unique user account and password. Note, this course focuses on ADDS accounts. You can also store user accounts in the Local Security Accounts Manager database of each computer, enabling local sign-in and access to local resources. Local user accounts are, for the most part, beyond the scope of this course. Creating user accounts. A user account includes the username and password, which serve as the user's sign-in credentials. A user object also includes several other attributes that describe and manage the user. You can use Active Directory users in computers, Active Directory Administrative Center, Windows PowerShell, or the DS-add command line tool to create a user object. Considerations for naming users. Your naming convention is an important consideration. A formalized naming convention will allow you to deal with duplicate user names and name changes in a standardized way. When you create user accounts, consider the following elements. Full name attribute. Full name is used to create several attributes of a user object, most notably, the common name and display name attributes. The common name of a user is the name displayed in the details pane of the snap-in, and it must be unique within the container or OU. If you create a user object for a person with the same name as an existing user in the same container or OU, you need to give the new user object a unique full name. UPN logon. User principal name, UPN, logons follow the format user logon name at UPN suffix. User names in ADDS can contain special characters, including periods, hyphens, and apostrophes. These special characters enable you to generate accurate user names such as O'Hare and Smith-Bates. However, certain programs and applications might have other restrictions. Therefore, we recommend that you use only standard letters and numbers until you test the applications in your enterprise environment for compatibility with special characters. You can manage the list of available UPN suffixes by using the Active Directory domains and Trust snap-in. Right-click the root of the snap-in, click Properties, and then use the UPN Suffixes tab to add or remove suffixes. The Domain Name System (DNS) name of your ADDS domain is always available as a suffix, and you cannot remove it. In a multi-domain environment, you can assign different UPN suffixes to users for purposes such as email domain suffixes. Note, it is important that you implement a user account naming strategy, especially in large networks in which users might have the same full name. A combination of last name and first name, and where necessary, additional characters, should yield a unique user account name. Specifically, it is only the UPN name that must be unique within your ADDS forest. The full name attribute needs to be unique only within the OU where it resides. The user SAM account name must be unique within that domain.